Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be testing the Drako GTE at Golden Max in multiplayer in Asphalt 9. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and be sure to check out my Furum Clips channel as well as the Purple Team Discord. Links to those will be in the description, and I hope you enjoy the video. So the Drako GTE is the most recent car hunt car to come to Asphalt 9. I said in my video where I showed the max stats of all the new cars in the update that this car was a lot like the 488 GTB in terms of stats. Which means, unfortunately, that we have pretty much another middling B-class car on our hands, kind of like the ZEROUNO, which is rather mediocre, doesn't really have a whole lot going for it or against it, but is really just a car that makes you wonder why you should even try to go for it in its car hunt, because it requires a good chunk of blueprints to even unlock. These races were recorded in the previous multiplayer season in low leagues so that I'd actually be able to have a chance to compete against, say, the car ahead of me, which is the Asphalt, and other ones in the season such as the Inferno. And because I saw so many Asphalt early on in the season, I was trying to figure out why I saw so many, and I think I partially figured out the answer at least. It's one of those cars that looks really good on paper, and it is good, mind you, but the acceleration is not actually as good as what the stat shows. It's fake, and then you have the low nitro efficiency too, so if you have more of a beginner player who might not be such used to low nitro efficiency cars, it might be difficult to keep it to a top speed, and I think that's why I was able to actually beat them a lot of the time. We've just beat one on Osaka, and now we're facing two on Nevada, as well as two Infernos and a Huracan. By the way guys, I was able to at least temporarily find a fix to my Forza crashing issues that I detailed in my video talking about the first impressions of Forza Horizon 5, which you should go check out if you haven't seen it yet. But pretty much what was happening was that on startup, after I got to the place where I was supposed to drive to the very first event, I don't remember what it was. It's the one where you have the plane flying overhead. But anyway, on the way to that one, I would always crash just randomly in the middle of the road. Sometimes it would be before I even was able to start driving, sometimes it would be a little after, but I never was able to actually make it to that point. So, because this has been happening to a lot of people, Forza made their own post about what to do if this happens, and I tried a few of them which didn't work, and then I saw one that was reset your game in the store. And so I tried that because that's worked before for me on other games, but then when I tried to load it, I got another issue: invalid profile, which I then looked up on YouTube, of course, to figure out a fix. There were some fixes for when that happens in Forza Horizon 4, but those fixes did not actually work in Forza Horizon 5. So I opened a ticket for it. Woke up the next morning, nothing had been solved yet, still was the same thing happening. So I finally looked it up on Forza forums, and some people said that if that happens, you reset it and then restart your computer and then go back into the game and it will resync with the cloud, because apparently the invalid profile thing happens when like your save files on your computer are corrupted, but for whatever reason it wasn't trying to sync with the cloud unless I restarted my computer. So that happened, and I finally was able to get back into the game. But it went back to crashing at the exact same spot that it did before. I wasn't about to try the same thing that I did before that made the game just stop working completely, so I looked this up, and some people said that if you run as administrator, it solves these fixes. I ran as administrator, and I was actually able to play the game. Now, I know this is not going to be like a forever fix. I don't want to have to run the game as administrator every time I want to play without crashing, so hopefully they release a fix for whatever it is that is causing my issue. I know there were like a big list of apps and antivirus stuff that you're not supposed to have open when you do the game, but the thing is, Discord and OBS were two of them. Those are like two of the apps I use most, and OBS is the one that I used to record with. So if I couldn't have OBS open, then I could never record the game, and I don't really think they want no videos on YouTube about that, because I know OBS is used by probably like 90% of YouTubers. So I am hoping that it is not that. In any case, due to those issues and just me being busy, I wasn't able to record a Forza lobby this past weekend. The first one will probably be in 2 weekends from now or so to go with the regular schedule, as I will be streaming this coming weekend because I'm feeling much better. I wasn't able to stream 2 weekends ago because I was feeling sick and I had a sore throat, but thankfully now my sore throat has gone away, so we should be perfectly fine. Thank you all for the well wishes on that, by the way. It really does mean a lot to me. And so now we are going to be testing this car on Auckland one of, well, the more twisty tracks in the game, which is ironic since they originally said it was going to be a straighter one, but either they have a completely different definition of straight, or they were thinking of the next track that's going to be coming to the game, which is apparently going to be Buenos Aires, which they talked a little bit about in their recent dev chat in the Asphalt 9 Discord, and I'm gonna go over like some of the more important stuff that they talked about there. One of the biggest pieces of news is that they said that Buenos Aires would be coming in this coming update, and they are also working on another new track, which is an outdoor location, which they don't really have much more than a rough layout currently for. Also in the coming update, they have confirmed that the 4th Drive Syndicate will be coming, continuing the story from past events. Now, I'm sure what most of you are thinking is, oh no, is this gonna be another super pay-to-win event? Probably, but they said that it would at least be less pay to win and not as difficult, not requiring as many tokens, or I would hope real life money necessary in order to get the car. But I mean, they've said stuff like that before and it hasn't been completely right, so honestly, we will just have to wait and see until it comes out. Some other interesting tidbits from the dev chat were that they're working on 2 new Drive Syndicate formats, one which is kind of a small mini format that's going to be shorter and hopefully cheaper, which is what they said, and then they said there's going to be a new one which, get this, will allow you to race in police cars, which is awesome. A lot of people have been wanting that ever since the beginning of the game, because police cars can go faster than 300 miles per hour, although honestly, I don't really expect them to be able to go that fast inside whatever Drive Syndicate they come up for this, unless Gameloft rolls with the joke and makes them go super fast, which I just think would be hilarious and would make me love the game again. Gameloft did have to push back the Club Wars due to, I guess, COVID stuff, not having as many people in the office, but they did say that they're working on 2 new multiplayer modes, which is a solo one and one that is cooperative, which sounds super interesting. I would love to get a kind that is based upon knockdown so that people can kind of get out their anger toward their fellow players there and not do it in the regular multiplayer. And they actually gave a hint as to what the DS4 car would be. They said that it would have 4 wheels, look very modern, and be very fast. If that doesn't narrow it down, I don't know what does. And one last thing about the Drive Syndicate, we don't know what the car is going to be yet, but we did get a kind of leak or something that it could possibly be the Jesko Absolute, which personally doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me since it would definitely be better than the regular Jesko, but we already have the Venom that just came out not that long ago that is better than the Jesko, but not by enough such that the Jesko Absolute would very easily be between the Jesko and the Venom, and I don't think they would release a new King this early, this quickly after the other one. So it remains to be seen what that's going to be. And here's one of the weirdest stunts I have ever done, like while recording a video. I know it's not as crazy as some you've seen, but it's kind of crazy for me at least. So now for a quick general review about this car, kind of mediocre, was okay to drive, but it's pretty much just another ZEROUNO or 4-a-day GTB and not really much worth going for. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you have enjoyed and consider subscribing for more Asphalt, Forza, and other games content. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!